So I'm just going to do a pickups video. It's last week and this week. So I'm going to start off with this. I got it from Argos. I think it's £12. Can't remember. I haven't got any of the sort of modern Zelda games on the 3DS. I haven't got any. This is my first one on the 3DS, so we'll check that out and hopefully it's good. So I did go to the car beat last Sunday for the first time in many weeks, mainly due to lack of funds, and I actually damaged my ankle, so I couldn't walk for about 4 weeks. So the first thing I got was, well, I only got two things, and that was Gran Turismo 6 on the PS3. Seems complete, but you never know with PlayStation. Well, I don't anyway. I don't really keep up with the PlayStation stuff. I only buy the games that I want to play, and they're mainly racing games. And then I got this, which is pretty cool. It's a little bit beat up. There is quite a deep scratch. Probably won't be able to see it. Probably just make it out there. It's got a deep scratch on it. It didn't come with a controller. It did come with the AC adapter though, so that's probably the main thing. And AV cables, I've got loads of them, so that's not a problem. It didn't come with a controller, but I do have loads of, you know, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 controllers. I think PlayStation 2 controllers work on it. Yeah, I don't see why not. So that was all good. On that same car beat, my friend Rob, he picked up a boxed PS1, and it turns out that his PS1 didn't actually work, but the shell was in really good condition, and it was boxed, so he very kindly let me have it. The box is a little bit beat up, but it's okay. The actual like I say, the shell is in much nicer condition than the one that I got. However, Rob obviously tried to open it up and have a look what's inside, see if he could fix it. But in doing so, has round off that screw. So I need to come up with a cunning plan of how to sort that out. And then I'll be able to Frankenstein the two and make a nice decent condition one. So that was last week. I've got a feeling I did pick something else up, but I just can't remember what. I should probably do these when I get back from the car boot, so I don't forget. I can't think what else I got. Anyway, this week, so this morning, went to the car boot. I only had £10. Poor me. And it was wet and cold, and I almost didn't bother going. However, I'm glad I did, because I picked up this. It's a multi thing. I did end up paying £3 for it, but it's going to be really useful. At the minute on this CRT, this is sort of my, I've got two SCARTs on the back. One's an S-Video SCART and one's an RGB SCART. And then I've got these, and these, I basically pull these in and out, hook up PlayStation and whatnot, where I'm going to be able to use that, and after that can be closed, then it's going to look all nicer. Yeah, so I was pretty pleased with that. £3 is reasonable for that anyway. So the next thing, there was a guy who had a massive stack of Wii games, big stack of DS games. He had 1 or 2 Mega Drive games, a Dreamcast game, and some PlayStation. He had a few PlayStation 1 and a load of PlayStation 2. All games were £1 apart from Wii games were £1.50 for whatever reason. The best Wii game was probably Mario Party 8. There was nothing there for me anyway. I've got a pretty massive Wii collection, and I didn't bother picking anything up to resell or trade in. With only having 10 quid, I just wasn't in a position to be able to do that. However, he did have some DS games, I would say all for £1. So I got Resident Evil. I've never even seen this game before. I don't know if it's any good. But for £1 I thought I'd check that out. I did pick up one game because I know that this does trade in for £10 at CEX. So for £1, it's £9 profit essentially. So yeah, I got that. And this one's probably the best of the bunch. So for £1, Pokemon Soul Silver, and it's in really good condition. It's got all the points card, and the manual's in pristine condition. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I did pick that up last year and I traded it into CEX and I regretted it, so I'm glad to have that back. Okay, so I saw a guy and he had a bunch of cables. I had a route around. He was asking what I was looking for, but I was just browsing. He said, well, you name it and I'll have it. So naturally I went with the GameCube component cable. But he didn't have one of those, as you probably would expect. So I saw a guy, he had a bunch of cables in a box, and I was rooting around. He asked me if I was looking for anything in particular. I said I'm browsing. He reckoned he had everything in there, but he didn't have a GameCube component cable. But he did have one of these. So for 50p, I got myself one of those. I went back to the store that I got the Pokemon and basically the DS games that I showed you. And in a box he had a controller. As I said earlier, that I got a PS1 without any controllers, and the one that my friend Rob gave me, it did have a controller in it, but it was the original PlayStation controller. But I managed to get myself a PS1 controller for £1. It was absolutely caked in mud. And so you just sort of looked at it and went, ooh, quid? And I was like, yeah, it'll wash off. So yeah, I was pretty chuffed with that. The only thing I've noticed is there's a pin missing. I don't know if you can see. I think it's on that bank there, the middle one. I've checked the original PlayStations and they do have a pin in there. So I don't know whether it's going to work or not. I might be able to fix it, I don't know. We'll see. So the only other game related thing that I picked up was Little Big Planet 3. Yeah, it's all there. Not even check the disc actually. Yeah, I mean it's dirty, but it's only dirt. There's no scratches on it, so that's all good. There was a lady. She had quite a few PS3 games, a lot of cards and whatnot. But I asked her how much. She said £2.50. I asked her if she'd take 2. She said no. So I paid £2.50 for it, which it's a lot. I wouldn't normally, but I know that my laddie loved to play Little Big Planet 3, so that's it for my pickups last couple of weeks. I tell a lie. I went to a little car boot yesterday. It was like an indoor, and I picked up an Xbox game, SRS Street Racing Syndicate, and yeah, for 50p. That was that was pretty cool. So there was a family there, and they had some Wii games, but they essentially wanted £5 each for these Wii games. There certainly wasn't anything special. I looked up this particular game, and CEX was selling it for £5. So mainly because it was in pristine condition, I did offer £4 for Rayman Origins. I think just mainly because it was so slim pickings, and you know, you get that I want to buy something. I wouldn't normally pay £4 for a Wii game. Well, not a Wii game of that calibre anyway. Maybe I could scrape to £4 for a game that's worth like 50 quid. Yeah, so Rayman Origins. Yeah, I completely forgot that I went to that little car boot yesterday. There was only 5-6 sellers, and we were the only buyers in there. Okay, so that was my pickups for the last 2 weeks. I've never done pickups before in this way. It's been fun, so I might carry on doing it. I'm not sure. So, right, see you on the next one.